the box. I produce stuff for her.
Yes, yes, yes. We are in the Moonpool. We are. Very, very honored to have her here. This is Natalie. This is Natalie from Floetry. And, of course, everyone has so many questions. One thing, of course, what made you cut your dreads and what's coming up next for you? So many questions. So we're going to do first, what made you cut your dreads? Because you look for you.
Nothing made me cut my dreads. I just cut them.
You cut them?
Yeah, I did a part of the cutting and my sister did the other part. I just cut them. I was just ready to cut my hair. I love my locks. Oh, God, I love my locks. And by the time I cut them, they were multicolored. They were down my back. No issue with my locks. Love them. Love them. I'll have silver locks at some point in my life. I'll probably grow locks again. But I just felt like standing under the shower and not taking 2 hours for my hair to dry, so.
Did you save them? Did you actually save your locks?
Yeah,
Some people did.
I have them. I'm going to make them into something.
Oh, a bracelet, maybe in word on stage. Or toss them out to the ground. Sell them.
There you go.
eBay.
I don't know. Yeah.
So what's coming up next for you? Of course, you have a big following. So what's coming up next?
There are lots of things. We're working on a spoken word album right now that is a platform for who, in my opinion, are some of the best spoken word artists around right now. That is being produced by Ceylon. Recorded at Raw Tech Productions. See, we're a family here, in the Moonpool. My project is coming out this year. My album's called Afterbirth. Created in London. Freesome Music Production Company, which is my music house. What else is coming? I have scripts. I have children's stories. I have so much. I mean, when you say what's coming, you mean for the rest of my life, or you mean this year?
In the immediate future.
Immediate future for 2010. Look for the 2 most amazing spoken word albums ever released, following on after my last project, Floetry, where the ethos is poetic delivery, musical intent, and that's what I'm continuing to do. So, more.
I love the spoken word thing, and I feel like it's a way of teaching our youth and teaching music and changing music. So tell us how you plan to change music or evolve or share what you have for us through spoken word.
Well, I don't know if spoken word's new, because I say Jesus is a spoken word artist if ever I heard one, and a couple other famous folk, Barack is a big poet right now. Barack Obama is a huge poet. But in terms of what I plan to do to change, I don't plan to do anything to change. I just plan to do what it is that I know I'm supposed to do. And that's what I'm just continuing to do. We open up the Moonpool, we get in the vortex, and just get happy and create. There's no extra headiness about it. It's just pure, it's just artistic, it's fun. We learn, we get our business better and better as we go along, and that's it, really. So I'm not planning on changing anybody. I'm just doing what I know I need to do.
Well, one of the questions that I had when I was sitting and I was listening to your music was, do you ever feel, with female rappers, that you have to talk about sexual connotation, you have to talk about violence in order to really push those album sales? How do you ever remain true? How do you remain true to who you are?
Well, you see, people make a lot of whoopee and stuff to the stuff that I do. Like, I'm more of a sensual being than necessarily a sexual being, although my sexuality, there's no problem with that. I mean, I kind of more look at what I do more so than what other people do, because everyone has their own path, their own walk, and they're doing what they're doing. And I think sometimes when you take an approach of trying to compare or talk about or judge, it's not necessarily the best way to blend people, So with regards to sensuality, I'm a lover of love, for real.
Same here.
Yeah. And as I say, I won't be paying child support for anything that happens with any of my musical content. So you guys use it wisely and love your children.
And one last thing, where can people find out new information about the Floacist?
Well, other than in your dreams and meditation, You can go to my Facebook. It's the best place to get me. I'm on there. I'm always putting statuses up. You got to go. I have 2 pages on there. One of them's full. The other one isn't. Please don't go to the one that's full and then think that it's over. Go to the one that isn't. So just the Floacist at Facebook. I status there all the time. I like to communicate. I'm a poet, you know, so I like to communicate with my people. That's straightforward to me. So that's the best way to find out what I'm doing, where I'm gonna be, and all that stuff. And other than that, just dive into the Moonpool.
The Moonpool, people. The Moonpool. Yeah. Well, I thank you so much for coming out and just sharing with us. It was definitely a blessing.
It was
definitely.
a vibe.
Yes, it was.
Let's not forget.
Hold on.
Beautiful
background yes.
singing, absolutely. Not even background in the front.
Kissy.
Girl,
We're all here together.
Kissy, the Moonpool.
I'm in it, right here.
So tell us about some of the other projects you have done.
I've worked with wonderful artists from the greatest, those ones that you've seen, those ones you haven't heard of. I just love spreading my talent and helping people look good and sound good, feel good.
And she does it good.
In the Moonpool.
In the Moonpool. You have any solo projects coming up?
I do actually. I'm working on something really special.
Really special.
Really special. Something that's definitely been anticipated for a while. We're all collabing on it. It's going to be amazing.
Any hints?
Yeah.
No,
the
no.
hint is it's gonna be very special.
Hey, that's what's up.
Very Moonpool. Yeah, everything we create is in the Moonpool. So.
Give us your Facebook or your MySpace.
My Facebook is actually Katorie, K-A-T-O-R-I-A-E, Kizzy Brown. On Facebook. Twitter, I'm on there too. And my Kizzy B, baby. If you type that in Google, you'll find something on there.
Yeah.
Well, I thank y'all so much. If y'all could look.
Preparing for a professional recording studio. When preparing for a professional recording studio, you should go over your material, committing it to memory. Go over your material the night before. Call the producer to double check that studio time and prices are still set. Get a good night's rest. Arrive to the studio at least 15 to 20 minutes for preparation. Most producers charge for scheduled time. Some producers synchronize the music before, during, or on a separate recording visit. Some producers require payment before a recording session. This is okay. Make sure you receive a receipt. All equipment must be set according to your height and voice levels. Setup is not included in the studio time. This is the responsibility of the producers to have their equipment up and ready for usage. The clock starts when you start recording. After you finish a recording session, it is not a requirement for you to leave with a finished product. I suggest bringing a flash drive to download your materials onto. Usually, producers send out a CD of mixed down materials, for it takes time for the mix down. You then can send it off for to be mastered. Mastering is the industry standard for radio play. After you've received your mastered music, you're then ready to head to the radio station.